Hi everyone! In this video I will talk about the LoopTools add-on for Blender. It's a super handy tool that expands Blender's default modeling features. I will show you step by step how to use its functions and share some tips along the way. Let's get started! To install LoopTools, follow the link in the video description and drag it into Blender. Blender will check up for updates and the add-on will be installed. You can also go to Preferences add-on to check if it's enabled by making sure the checkbox is ticked. It's recommended to restart Blender after installation. Now that we have installed LoopTools, let's start with its first feature, Bridge. Select a cube, highlight its opposite face, and click Bridge. You will see a bridge created between the selected parts. By default, it has one segment, but you can add more segments. If the setting panel disappears, press F9 to bring it back. Use the Strength slider, you can adjust the connection profile. You can also add a twist to the bridge, creating interesting shapes. Steps of the twist will rotate the outer side of our bridge. Here is another example of the bridge tool. Let's say we have a broken cylinder. Select one edge loop, then other edge loop. We also can disable twist after previous one bridge tool. And select 5 segments and press bridge. The two parts of the cylinder will connect. You can use this tool to connect different shapes in a similar way. You can also use Blender's built-in bridge edge function. Edge, bridge, edge loops, which is similar to LoopTools. It also supports twist, and also it provides to you various profile options for connecting edges in specific way. Let's increase number of cuts, and now we can set up the profile factor to change the shape of our bridge. Also, there is a profile shape, for example the sharp one. Next, let's talk about the circle feature in the LoopTools. Select a vertex and click Circle. The surrounding vertices will form a perfect circle. You can also select polygons and use circle to make them circular. In the F9 menu, you can set an exact radius by enabling radius. You can choose best fit for an average circle or an inscribed circle that fits within the original shape. If regular is off, the circle will have uneven vertex distribution. Turning on regular will evenly distribute the vertices. You can also restrict the circle to one axis. For example, you can lock the Z or Y axis or X axis. For example, Y axis, and the points moves only along the axis. For example, if we lock Z axis, our points of our circle will move along only Y axis. Additionally, you can adjust the influence of the circle tool by moving the influence slider. Let's move on to curve. Create a plane, select some vertices and move them around. Then select the moved vertices and apply the curve tool for it. We want it to interpolate all points in between that vertices to the shape. So select the moved vertices and apply tool. It will interpolate the surrounded vertices based on your selection, creating smooth transition. It's great for shaping objects without adjusting every vertex manually. You just pick the key points and the tool aligns the rest automatically. There is also a neat trick with curve. If you have a curved object and want to straighten it, select the first and the last point and click curve. And vice versa. You can move the middle vertex to the up and all the vertices will interpolate between it, creating a straight or curved line depending on the interpolation type. Next is G-stroke. Let's use the plane again. With G-stroke you can align selected vertices along a custom drawn curve. Hold D, draw a curve. After it, select the vertices and choose, for example, distribution method spread evenly. The vertices will align along the drawn curve. Here's the trick. You can constrain movement to X-axis and use project mode. This will project the vertices onto the curve. Or you can, for example, use spread evenly method, and curve will follow the path but will be reduced on X-axis. Now let's look at flatten. Select some polygons on a cylinder and press flatten. They will align to their normal, forming a flat rectangle. You can also use view mode, which aligns the polygon to your camera view, like this. The relax tool helps smooth out vertices. Select the vertices, press relax, and they will become smoother. The iteration settings control how much smoothing is applied. More iterations result in smoother vertices. If you enable parallel, the tool will smooth all parallel edges within the mesh, not just the selected ones. The space tool is used to evenly distribute vertices along an edge loop. If your vertices are unevenly spaced, pressing space will align them evenly, improving the mesh flow. Finally, we have loft. Let's say you have several sections or shapes. By clicking loft, you can connect them into one object. This is similar to bridge, but it allows you to connect multiple selections at once. You can also press remove faces on and off and create a closed loop with the loop option. That's all for this video. I hope these tips help you get the most out of the LoopTools add-on. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you won't miss future tutorials. See you next time on the 3D Boost.